Hello everyone. How's it going? How's it going? I have the Mii Parade. I brought the whole squad today. We got more Miis. A lot of them are there. Those are a lot of the new Miis. Arriving. Hey Kenyoshi, how's it going? I have the Mii Parade. The Mii Parade is very good. It is very useful. Yeah, so I've thinned down my my Miis in my Mii Plaza, and I've made some new Miis, and I've put all those in the Mii Parade. So, a new discovery recently. Hey NT, hey Jupi. The Mii's were the arriving emote, that's true. So, why have I done this? Before I get into runs, because I don't have much time today. Yeah, MIDI Parade, yes. It's the gay parade thing, isn't it? Pay grade, gay parade. It's the MIDI Parade. Yeah, so why have I done that? So, basically, in Find Me, you have, chat is invisible on stream. Yeah, I did that for marathon submissions. I did that on purpose. Maybe I'll... No, you know what, I'll leave it off. I'll leave it off just in case. Yeah, marathon submissions. Anything that I might use as a marathon submission, I'll keep it off screen. So, Mii Parade, thank you for pointing out though, because most of the time, I think literally every other time anyone's ever pointed it out, it's been a mistake. So yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, that's all good. So maybe I'll do a little bit more chat interaction today. I don't know. But yeah. Hey Crystal, how's it going? So the way this works in Find Me, up to 50% of the Miis in a level can be the Mii Plaza Miis, and up to 30% can be Mii Plaza Miis up to 50%, Mii Parade Miis up to 30%. So, yes, I know it's not... I actually tried to beat that yesterday, and I got 910. I really, really do need to beat this. I'm gonna be so honest. I really, really do need to beat that. Because that score in the shooting range game... I don't know. It's been my high score for like 2 years. Okay. Record 3. Yes, :3. Listen. You know what? Should we just beat your shooting range now? I can't though. I'm gonna have to improve my whole score skip file just to get this off the screen. I honestly should do that. I should do that after this stream. It'll take me like half an hour. No. Hey Saweetie, how's it going? So I've just read the next message. Mix President. A second Wii remote hit the shooting range. My god. Right, should we do plats? Should we actually play the game? Okay, anyway, so Mii Parade will be really useful. I got it on Wii U because of Homebrew. And that's all I'll say. There's a fairly easy solution out there to do it. I also have the photo channel now, so I could do Wii photo channel speedruns of the puzzle game. So that is an option. You know what? Maybe I'll save that for the Billiards 100 race. I'll finish my Billiards 100 and I'll just be chilling doing Wii photo channel speedruns. That's what I was going to do the first time. Because I was just sitting there for like an hour, just in the call, doing random runs. Then maybe this time I'll do photo channel speedruns. So we actually got something else to do. Okay, plan for today. Plats, Tanks 100. That's it. I don't know if Tanks 100 is going to happen. If this is as bad as the other day, then I'm not going to have enough time and I might do a couple of short Tanks 1P2C runs, but we will see. Yeah, let's get started. GG on the 11-point circle target. Laser hockey though, so we do. I did see that. Choose an emote to mention Bohm when MIDI bohms out. Yes, there will be so much Bohm. Hopefully not as much boom as last time. Hey Seagull, how's it going? Yeah, we got all the slots people coming out and not winning, unfortunately. So it means I have to keep my tab open. Alright, so sub 105 hopefully here. Let's give it a shot. Oh, by the way, other thing I will mention before I get started. I booked tickets for UKSG Green. So I need to submit to that now. I can't back out, otherwise I would have wasted my money. So I will be going to UKSG. So that's going to be fun. And hopefully this game gets in. If not, Secret Rings. And if not, Coronation Street, The Mystery of the Missing Hot Pot Recipe. Listen, it's a point and click from 2011. It's like 15 minutes. It'll be funny. Oh my god, Jupy's going out swinging. This is the MIDI goes outside year? Nah. Who hurt you today? Hey Queenie, how's it going? Right, so same thing as before. Mission 101 and M101, they're the commands. So, oh, I haven't updated the command. Whatever. I'm not even going to keep the totals in the command, I think, because I'm just not going to update it, am I? Mario Cap, okay, cool. I'll do that. There won't be as much commentary because I am... Oh, actually, I pinned the wrong one. Whoops. Unpin this message. Wait, you can delete... You can just straight up delete the message that gets pinned. That's kind of funny. Thank you for the good luck. Yeah, so there won't be as much commentary. There will be lots of commentary. Probably not as much as the other day, though. I want to have enough commentary so I can use this as a submission if I want, but I think today I will do a little bit more chat interaction because the other day really took a lot of my energy. But tomorrow I'm going to do New Super Mario Bros. Wii because I can start earlier, so I have time. You have Mahjong night with Mahjong night with the Mahjong gang. Let's go. You needed to focus the violence. Fair enough. You've got it all out of your system now, and you can win Mahjong. Yeah, thank you for the good luck. I hope Mahjong goes well. Okay, right, let's do the runs. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, this is Wii Play Billiards. It's Wii Play Plats. We're starting off with billiards. First game in most Wii Play speedruns is billiards because it is RNG heavy, and that is all. I tried to go for a shot there that would sink the 9, didn't quite happen. So here we're starting off with billiards because the break shot is RNG. Yeah, it's not a great start there. You know what, I'm going to restart that. Okay, let's close other things that I've got open. Don't need everything open. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Thank you for the good lucks. This is Wii Play Platinum Medals. The goal of this run is to get all 9 Platinum Medals across the minigames. The first one is billiards for most people. Most runners start with billiards because the break shot is pure luck of whether you get a good result or not. So we need 7 combined shots plus fouls to get platinum. So that means if we do an illegal move, we get a foul. We haven't yet done that, but that can happen. There are some instances where we do want to do that, actually. We're currently 1 behind par. We're going to need to get a double, so 2 in 1 shot to recover this. I think I'm just going to go for this straight shot on the 5 and then hope the 7 and the 8 somehow do something. Unlikely, but we have to give something a try at this stage of the game. Yeah, not quite. That's fine. We'll take a restart there. Whoops. That's not a split. So, the break shot, you can get anything between 0 and 7 balls. There have been multiple 7-ball breaks by human players, and in terms of TAS, there has been a 9-ball break. Good shot there to get the 4-ball win. Unfortunately, the 1 I didn't have a plan for. You can plan around with getting one of the balls in, and the other one you just kind of have to hope. Yeah, so here I'm just trying to hit as many balls as possible, see what happens. Not quite happening there. I allow myself about 4 or 5 minutes to get out of here. This looks a lot better. 3 balls going to go in there, so that is a 3 break. That's our first one that's on par from the beginning, so that's good. So I'm using the D-pad to aim here, but I can also use the B button and motion controls to aim. Most of the games in this in Wii Play are based on the pointer, but we can use the D-pad for some stuff. Now I can't really do a lot here. I think I'm gonna try and get that in the corner. It's not quite gonna go. I'm gonna do this. See what happens. We got 1 ball, and the cue ball went in, so unfortunately that counts as a shot and a foul. So we are behind now. I need to get 2 in 1 shot to recover this. Once again. Okay, I think the 5 ball... Yeah, so the 5 ball is a straight shot into the pocket. Every shot, I'm just planning ahead a little bit, seeing what we can figure out before we actually take the shot. I'm going to hope this rebounds and hits the 9. It didn't quite happen, so we're going to have to take a restart. Thank you for the good luck, Lyco, as well. And NT. Okay, this looks pretty good. This is a 4 break. That's brilliant. So that allows me to afford 1 foul. What I'm going to attempt here is the double jump shot, though. If I can get 2 balls off the table, that would be ideal. We got 1. We unfortunately jumped over the 6, so it didn't quite happen. It was quite a difficult angle from there, but basically a jump shot is where you jump a ball off the table. A double jump shot, and I'm going to hit the 9 here, which is a foul, but we do have that spare shot to take, remember, so hopefully we'll be okay. We are going to have a difficult shot on the 7, so I'm going to do some backspin to hopefully get into a good position there. Ooh, not quite. We are in a better spot, but unfortunately we did not hit the 7 because it's on the cushion. It's in a really bad position. Sometimes if you hit a ball that's on a cushion, it just kind of doesn't do what you want. Oh, yes. So you're absolutely right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Wow, lack of game knowledge. SMH. Well. Oh no, guess we're going to have to restart the one that was 4 minutes in with no successes. Wow. What a shame. Oh well, we'll go again. I knew there's a reason I went for that double jump shot. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, this is Wii Play Platinum Medals. The goal of this run is to collect all 9 Platinum Medals across all the games. Is the 3 ball going to go in there? That would almost have been a 4 break. So the break shot is the first shot, and it is the most important one. It's also the most RNG heavy thing in this whole game, unfortunately. So what we need is now, unfortunately, I'm blocked by the 7 ball, so I'm going to try and hit that into the 3. The 7 ball didn't go anywhere, so we've taken a foul now. So that means we've taken 1 shot and 1 foul, so we are now behind par to get the platinum medal. So I'm going to need to try and get 2 in 1 shot here. So hopefully that 7 ball goes in. 6 ball rebounded off there. Did not quite go in from that, which is a bit unlucky. It hit the knuckle of the pocket, and then nothing good happened, unfortunately. So all I can really do is just hit as many balls as I can. Nothing much happens at that point. That is fine. The estimate does accommodate billiards being a bit of a pain. Sometimes you get a 3 ball break, which is ideal. You want 3 balls to go in on the break. Otherwise, so here we got 2, so I'm going to have to get 2 in 1 shot on one of the others. And the cue ball not going in there, which is surprising, actually. It got stuck between the jaws of the pocket, which does slow the ball down a lot, in fairness. But yeah, there's really not a lot I can do here. Yeah, so I'm just going to take a restart. The main thing I can do here is just knowing when to restart in terms of maximizing how many attempts I'm going to get. Like, this is only going to be a 1 ball break, so I would need 2 doubles to recover that. And again, 7 shots plus fouls for the platinum. All the other medals are quite a lot nicer. This is the only one where you need to get quite lucky at the beginning to get out. Everything else is pretty much down to skill. You can recover shots that get less than 3 balls in one shot, though. This is going to be a 5 break, which is fantastic. That gives us 2 extra shots to work with. I am going to go for the 9 ball, which hopefully squeezes around the 6. Fantastic, there we go. Now I'm going to use a little bit of spin control. You might think of spin control as being more of a thing in bowling, if you're familiar with Wii series. Just a little bit of backspin there gives me a bit of control over where the ball goes. So if I go for the 6 ball, get that in, there we go. And we have 2 shots to work with here, or 1 shot plus a foul. So as long as the 7 ball goes in on this shot, we don't care where the cue ball goes. Okay, that did not go in, but it is fine. We did have that shot to work with, but this time we have to get it in with no foul. And it is a bit tricky when you have angles like that, because the ball does not really go very far. No, that's a shame. Yeah, I couldn't really do a lot there. The cue ball was always going to go near there with how that worked out. That is fine. Okay, so here I'm hoping that the shot that I take is going to then be blocked. Yeah, there we go. It was blocked from going anywhere near the pocket by the 5 and the 7 ball. Unfortunately, the 2 ball is in a terrible spot here, so I can't do a lot. The only thing I can really do is just hit and see what happens. There we go. That's good. Unfortunately, again, we are snookered on the 4 ball. That means I don't have a direct shot at the 4 ball. I can use a bit of spin control to save this, but it's not going to make it so we get the platinum. It's just going to salvage the game. So here I'm going to go for another. See, again, this shot does not really work very well because we're not hitting the 4 ball with very much power. It did manage to work though, and hopefully we're moving the 5 ball into a better position. There we go. So that is now a bit more reasonable. And we've managed to hit the 7 as well. Not quite get anything from it. We are going to get a collision there, but I am going to need to get the 7 and the 9 ball in one shot here. So I'm going to use a bank shot. This will get the 7 ball in. Is it going to get the 9 ball in? Not quite. So we're going to have to restart again. And a lot of those shots are like that. I planned for the 7 ball to go in there, but the 9 ball I have no control over. There's no way of me manipulating that shot based on where the cue ball is for me to guarantee something good happening there. Nice collision onto the 7 ball there, and we get the 4 ball in as well. That's a 4 break. Now, I'm going to use something called a backspin. Oh, no. I am going to go for the 3 ball. It's a bit risky there because I had to aim. But if I did backspin, if it was a straight shot, then the backspin would have made the cue ball go all the way backwards into the 3 ball. Did not really work out for me to do that there. I would attempt it here, though. Let's give it a shot, because if we get this, then it is going to give me more leniency. There we go. We're going to get a foul. That is fine, because we've got 2 balls in one shot. And then here, I'm going to place below the 5, because it means I'm on a better position with the 9 ball. And then I'm hoping, if we get this in, that is going to be enough. There we go, and we are out. We are out of billiards, thanks to that. That was very, very mean. To be honest, at least 3 decent games there, and we just ended up in a really unfortunate position on to be honest, on all of them. But yeah, we managed to save it somewhat. Moving on now, we're moving on to fishing. This is motion controlled. Some of the games in here sort of teach you about the pointer, and Wii Sports mainly teaches you about motion, but we are using motion here. I need to drag the Wii Remote up whenever I get a catch. The plain old fish take 2 bites. Nibblers, the yellow fish, they take 3 bites, and then touchy fish take 4. There's also mystery fish, which spawn in occasionally, randomly. We might get none, we might get 4, depending on how lucky we are. And there's the king of the pond at the end, which is a big fish. Gives us up to 700 points on bonus. And you might be wondering the bonus as well. That can be any fish that's currently in the pond. It will always be the king the moment that appears. So we're kind of trying to work out roughly where we're at in terms of the time, because This game, as much as it doesn't have a timer, there is an invisible timer in the background. Every time we catch a fish, it pauses for a few seconds, and once that timer reaches a certain amount, we will be catching the king of the pond will spawn, and hopefully we will be able to catch that. So the bonus fish does change occasionally, and there is a chance it would have actually changed there to the mystery. Did not quite happen. Mystery bonus is very rare, but it is possible. Okay, let's see if we can at least get one touchy bonus fish from this. There we go, 190. So it is based on size. That was a fairly big touchy fish. We're not going to get another one because it took too long the first time, but that is fine. The king of the pond will be able to pretty much carry us over to the line. We might need one more fish. Ideally, I'm aiming for 7 fish here, though. 7 fish? 11 fish. That is a different run. There are 4 different medal runs in here, and I have different targets for all of them. I'm going to catch a non-bonus fish as the final one because that saves us a fraction of a second in terms of animations. For some reason, the bonus fish cutscene is longer. I have no idea why. It's just a very odd change. But yeah, 10 fish, very good. I've had world records with 12 fish before, so it's pretty decent. As long as we get through, then it's all fine. So we have some leniency in a lot of the other games just in case we need to play safer. But we managed to get fortunate enough then to not need to. And moving on now, we have Tanks. This is a lot of people's favourite game. So, yeah, I do really like the clapping emote. I'm surprised it took me so long to think of that clapping emote, to be honest. The Wii clapping emote. It's great. So, Tanks. This is one of the longer games in here because we need to play the gold medal first to unlock the full game, and then we play the platinum medal. Now, that applies to 2 games in here. That applies to table tennis and it applies to Tanks. The good thing with Tanks is that everyone loves Tanks, so it's all good. And we see different strats between the 2 games. The first one is the gold medal. So we will be playing as fast as we can. No deaths, ideally. Any death we take is going to cost us 8.5 seconds for the respawn. Plus however long it takes us to get back to the Tanks. Now, the interesting thing with Tanks is the variety of layouts, the variety of tanks we got going on. We have brown tanks, they don't fire very often, they stay still. Grey tanks, they do fire a little bit more often, and they do move. They are defensive, so they try and run away from you. That's a good rebound shot there, that's why we do that, just in case it hits that teal on the way back up. We get bonus lives as well, by the way, which makes this quite nice. We don't have to rely on winning with only 3 lives, which is good. That's a good shot on the teal there, actually. Oh, not quite with the grey. The grey got me on the rebound there. That's fine. I lost track of both of those. That's okay. So, in the gold medal, you do lose time for every death. In the platinum medal, you need to drain your lives at the end anyway. But more on that when we get there. So, we also now have teal tanks. They are very much similar to the greys, except they fire at very, very specific intervals. They are defensive like the grey tanks, so they are the bane of our existence as speedrunners. Nice shot there. Good defense. That was a very, very late defense, but good defense. Managed to shoot down that rocket bullet before it hit me in the face. They have double speed compared to my bullets, so I do have to be very careful. Yeah, and teals also fire at very fixed intervals. As long as you are near them, they will fire roughly every 3 seconds. That will hit the yellow tank. Yellow tank kind of got cornered by its own mine there. They have now started to spawn in, and they have up to 4 mines. We only get 2. We get 5 bullets and 2 mines as the player, but the yellows get 4 mines and 1 bullet. They really, really focus on their mines. They're also very good at getting stuck in their own mines, because they're not very good at planning ahead. Talking of not planning ahead, that's me walking into a mine. That's fine. So what happened there is an auto detonation. That was sneaky there. It was hidden behind a wall, so I couldn't actually see it. But that is all good. Basically, if a mine is placed down, it lasts 10 seconds, unless someone walks close enough to it, in which case it will explode early. Next we have pink tanks. So these fire a little bit more frequently, so it's a bit of a mashing contest. But, talking of mashing contest, all the way from over there, that is fine. Managed to make it through. but they do get hit pretty quickly, and they don't really dodge as easily as some of the other tanks we've seen so far. They kind of downgrade the dodging aspect a little bit. Good defense there. Was going to get hit to that. Oh, the explosion actually hid that bullet from me being able to see that. That's unfortunate. So the gold medal has 20 missions, and we're always going to see the same 20 missions. Now, the difference there, so always the same layouts, always the same tank colors. The difference is, when we play 30 missions, we will have some randomized ones. So we will see lots of different things going on. It is not the same game, and there's also a strat called Frame Perfect Death, which allows me to drain lives with no punishment, rather than losing 8.5 seconds per death. So we just saw green tanks there. That's not the last we'll see of them. No doubt they will be back. Now, green tanks have no movement, but they have 2 rebounds. We only get 1. So they are very, very strong, and they will often work out just incredible angles on you. They took geometry class, so unfortunately they are very difficult to deal with. I'm going to try and get a bullet in there. Didn't quite work out. As you can see, the teals are very defensive. That was about to go back up there, so that was not going to be great if that happened. So we do have pink tanks here again, and I do have to be careful because the moment I peek out from that wall, I'm taking this shortcut here, but the moment I peek out, the pinks will fire at me. And something I should mention, main mission it affects is this one, but lots of them are affected. Hey Apina, thanks for the good luck. Yeah, I'm playing on 4:3 aspect ratio. This game is a 16:9 game. It was released in 2006, so it was in that little transition period between widescreen and 4:3. Also, purple tanks, 5 bullets, nice rebound. 5 bullets and 2 mines, the same as our loadout, except they are very sporadic with their bullets, so it's very hard to defend against them. Pinks and purples as a combo are probably the most lethal in the game. There are better tanks on their own, but they are really, really lethal in huge groups. Just gonna have to defend myself a little bit here. There we go. So I have 5 bullets. The moment I use all of them, I cannot fire until one of them is destroyed. So I'm firing at walls a lot of the time, so that the bullets will be destroyed quicker. So I have very specific setups on every mission for that. Yeah, so on 4:3, the aspect ratio affects the size of the layouts. Also, there is impossible shot. I was trying to fire at that top left, a shot to hit that top left tank. Didn't quite work out. Gonna have to do some dancing here to dodge, because these greens are a huge pain sometimes, and it looks like that's happening here. So again, I'm going to fire at the wall. That's going to make my bullets be destroyed quicker. And the moment I destroy that wall for the green tank, I just get all my bullets back conveniently on time. I'm going to see if we can get some kills without necessarily having to peek out here. Purple trying to hit me without seeing me, which is a bit sneaky. There we go. And then next is one of the harder, in fact, the hardest of the first 20 missions, in my opinion. You get 8 tanks. You don't see 8 tanks on a predetermined mission for a long time after mission 19. So this is a really, really tricky one. It's also the massive bottleneck of the mines only 20 missions run. Big thing I'm going to try and do here is trap the tanks in. So by laying a mine, it actually creates an invisible wall for tanks. They will go nowhere near mines if they can help it, for the most part. So white tanks are invisible. Oh, nice dodge. Wow, I kind of cornered myself with my own bullet spray there, but managed to work out fine. And that is it. That's a sub 8-minute tanks 20. Very happy with that. Yeah, so white tanks turn invisible, but you can see their tracks, so it is all good. So, as I said, that's the gold medal. We do have to play the gold medal to unlock the full game. I'm going to have to play again for the platinum. So, let's see what we can do. This is frame perfect death. I'm trying to die at the same time as the last enemy tank. Here we go. Not quite. That's fine. We didn't die. So we got the neutral outcome from that. So what I have is a setup that allows me to try and go for a frame perfect death. If I die on the same frame as the last enemy tank, what will happen is I will die, the tank will die, I lose a life as a result, but I clear the mission. That means I need to drain, in this game, 8 lives in total. I'm going to go for it again. Let's see what we can do. Not quite. That was just a tad too late. This one does cost a lot of time if we lose it, but that is fine. So, if you hit a frame perfect death, you save yourself from having to lose one of those lives at the end of the game. So you save 8.5 seconds. There is a boosted version though. If I did this, hypothetically, on mission 30, on the final life of the game, then I would save 20 seconds because I skipped the bonus life animation. That, at the moment, is only implemented in bronze medals by myself. No one else does it. It's ridiculous. In bronze medals, you have to hit a teal tank because it ends on mission 5 in bronze. So, yeah, it's a ridiculous strat. It barely ever works, but it is worth going for because that category has next to no time save in it. Other than the FPDs, though, this is pretty much the same category. So it's a good time for messages and donations. Failing that, I do I mean, this game is very in-depth. There's a lot to talk about in this game. And a lot of the time, I will just cover stuff whenever it appears. There's definitely enough to cover the full length of tanks here. In fact, I am actually submitting Tanks 100 as well, which is 55 minutes long. And there's still enough to cover in that run. There are just so many subtle things that I'm doing in this run. Hey, Crazyo. Hope you enjoyed UKSG. I've booked my tickets for UKSG Green. So that will be fun, I hope. And I hope I get in with something. Yeah, I thought I'd do it last night, otherwise so it stops me from backing out. I think that's a good plan. There we go. Classic thing there where the yellow tank lays a mine before I have a chance to hit it, so you do have to be very, very careful. Because if the yellow tank moves back enough, my bullet will hit the mine and it will take me out. Yeah, Tanks 100 in a marathon. There's going to be a little bit of safety going on there, but yes. Also, hey, Vince, how's it going? Sorry, I'm not saying hi and interacting as much during marathon submissions. I'm kind of playing it based on how I feel about the run. That was a really, really nice result there. Really displays how much of a difference you can get in these missions sometimes. Because the first time in mission 11 in this run went not great. And then that one was really, really good. Yeah, it's all good. Normally I do respond a lot, but I have to focus. I have to really lock in my commentary for this. Yeah, pink tank trying to get some bullets in there. I mean, Tanks 100 does have 22 lives. I am also going to submit an upgrade to the Wii Tanks Pro mod. Now, that mod is very, very difficult, but you get, I think, is it 38 lives in that mod? Yeah, very sneaky mine there. I didn't see that. You can hear it, but you can't see it. So, like, you can hear it when it's first placed. So you have to be very, very cautious in tanks because of the 2.5 dimensional aspect of this game. Yeah, I do think Tanks Pro is a risky submission, but it's an interesting run. And I'm going to do a lot of practice. I'm doing practice of these categories all month for this. I mean, this is going to be my first run using Mii Parade as well for Find Me, which is great. That can only be a buff, though. That's never a nerf. Okay, yeah, so this is why I spray the wall there. Not only do I get my bullets back super fast, but also... yeah, purple going to run away there. That's standard. But also, the purple tank will often go to the left there. Sometimes it retreats up. If it goes left, then it's pretty much a free hit. They will never defend the bullets that are going towards their face. They will never... the enemy mines. The enemy tanks, that is. That's a shame. I couldn't shoot down that bullet in time. Doesn't cost a lot of time, though, because we need to lose lives in this run. So that only cost me a few seconds, actually. There we go. Getting a few corner bounces there. That is basically a shot that hits a wall on the corner, so it doesn't change the collision, but it does count as a rebound. Yeah, so tanks will not deliberately shoot a mine if they want a mine to be out of the way. That's a shame. I thought I was going to thread the needle there. I do play very risky on Mission 17. A lot of the time, the green tank will go down. There we go. Yeah, having 2 rebounds does mean... Oh, wow, okay. Having 2 rebounds does mean they are very lethal sometimes. Like they just massively open up the possibilities for their shots as a result of that. That almost hit impossible shot. Is that going to work? Not quite. We call it impossible shot, not because it is impossible, but because it's just very, very, very difficult. Talking of very difficult, apparently me hitting any of these shots is really difficult. There we go. Oh, I'm surprised that didn't hit the teal tank, actually. I'm going to just pick that off now. So teals always shoot directly at your face. A lot of tanks don't do that. They will fire around you. So with teals, because they're so accurate, it actually makes them easier to deal with because you know exactly where they're going to fire. As long as you're far enough away from them and you're going perpendicular to the bullets, then you will be fine. So once again, invisible walls working out here. Helping me out. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, I'm going to lock in for this. 7 tanks remaining. So if I put a mine at the top here, that will stop the purple from going that way. That will also stop this one from going here. There we go. So enemy tanks will always dodge enemy mines because they don't want to be giving you friendly fire kills. Sometimes that does happen as a quirk of tanks, like that's just a fact of life in tanks, to be honest. Like, eventually you will get a friendly fire kill. But sometimes, yeah, so I'm going to go up here. That's going to lay a mine. It's going to stop them from going that way. And it allows me to just pick them off. There we go. So there are some tanks that do not see my mines, though. So grey tanks don't see my mines. Teal tanks don't. That was a great defense by the white tanks, unfortunately. There we go. Pink tanks, interestingly, don't see my mines as well. And obviously browns and greens can't avoid them because they are stationary. So from now on, we are going to be seeing some randomized layouts. So how does the randomization work? There are some parameters to this. First off, shout out to Cindy Fusic's lookup tool. Cindy Fusic, big runner of this game. And she made a tool where you can look up any mission in the game and the different layouts that can come up and the different tank colours that can be in the mission. So basically, every tank number has a position on the board, and those... yeah, it was pretty clutch. Those missions... See, this is a bit of a slow one, but it is a safe one, so I will take that in a run like this. Interestingly, 3 pinks and 1 green. That is strange. Oh, there we go. Nice. Good. So, we have 4 tanks on these at the beginning. Eventually, in a 400 mission run, you have 8 tanks on random layouts like this. But you'll have a random layout out of a small pool of the ones we've already seen. And you will also have different tank colours. So there will be a couple of positions on the board that will always be something sort of middling. And there will be a couple of positions that are sort of either a low-grade tank or a high-grade tank. You also have mission 25. This is always the same layout. This is the C layout because it looks like a C. They don't really have names. There are 30 missions. So we do see some new ones. Eventually, later on, you get ones that look like a maze and things like that. And then on mission 100, they actually give you mission 1's layout again, but with a bunch of black tanks, which we don't see in this run. We see in a 400 mission run. Black tanks are the strongest in the game. They are also too intelligent for their own good because they retarget so often. It means they actually end up cornering themselves a lot more often than not. So unfortunately, didn't get that hit there. It does mean I'm going to have to go round. Otherwise, I'm very vulnerable to getting attacked there by the green. So there is a little bit of a setup on this mission. Let's see if I get it. Didn't quite do it. That's fine. Later on, that position that's hidden there can be a green tank. So I do want to be very, very careful with that one. Because a green tank in that blind spot is probably one of the worst, honestly, Kaizo-like positions in the game. There is a mod for this, Wii Tanks Pro. There are loads of tanks mods. People love this game. People love modding this game. There's a scene just for modding tanks. Like, they don't even touch the rest of Wii Play. Yeah, it's great. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. That's fine. We've had a few deathless missions, so we are still on 2 lives. I'm going to get a couple of bullets in here just in case the tank goes there. The mine just about got out of the way there. Let's see if I can intercept the yellow before it goes the other side. That's the worst outcome, where it dodges all the way to the other side. So normally just a couple of bullets at the top. That's normally enough to pick them off. And I know that that was a safe zone because the teal spawned at the bottom. Teals can't spawn mines, so that was always going to be a safe spot for me to just walk into with no mine detection. Lastly, mission 30. This is fully predetermined. Same layout, same tanks. Pretty difficult, actually. Purples, whites, greens, it's got them all. Very strong for this stage of the game. And they're also moving the green out of the way, which is a quirk. They can't move themselves, but they can move. And now, I am going to drain the rest of my lives. So, as you can see, a frame-perfect death on Mission 30 would be ridiculous, because you would have to hit a green tank, realistically, to get a frame-perfect death there. And, yes, you can get close to the green tank, and then you can fire at the wall and have some kind of setup, but the greens will very often mess with you. Like, they can fire at you if you're anywhere close to them. Like, they have a huge range to hit you. So it's pretty tricky there. So now we're moving on to a couple of shorter games. Next up is Charge. Charge is a very, very short one. Think Moo Moo Meadows with motion controls that don't work. And you're riding a cow. So here we need 325 points. You have 300 points for hitting scarecrows. There's a start boost there as well. This is literally Mario Kart. So by jolting the controller down when it reached go, I managed to get a start boost there. Very much like a rocket boost in Mario Kart. So you get points for hitting these scarecrows, 300 in total, and there is a time bonus for every second remaining. So as long as we get a perfect, we should be good here. Gonna try and hit the drift. I missed the scarecrow, so we're behind 6 points now. That means I need 331. So 300 and 31 time bonus to reach 325 points. I'm gonna play safe here. Charge is notorious for being really janky, and it just doesn't work sometimes. So IL strats actually mean we can do very well here, but in terms of playing safe in an RTA run, you just want to be getting through. So that is enough. We barely scraped platinum with a 33. That's all good. So when you miss a scarecrow, you actually miss 6 points because you miss out on the 5 perfect bonus as well, which is why that was such a problem. So next is Table Tennis Gold. So this looks like it might be an auto-scroller. It actually is not an auto-scroller. So how this works is I need to pay attention to the red paddle. The CPU is going to hit it to the left, middle, or right every time. And there is no real easy pattern to identify here. There is one for platinum, 186 to 200 points. But other than that, this is just a reaction test. So if I go too close to the net, we are going to get a 0 bounce hit, and it is not going to count because that's a foul. If I go too far away, the ball is going to hit the net, and that's going to count as a foul. So I can't play too safe here, and I would also like to play a little close to the net just to save some time. If you play really safe for the whole game, you lose dozens of seconds. So I don't really want to do that. We want to take a few risks in here. We don't want to play too safe. But as you can see, the game does get faster, and I am slowly moving back as that happens. So, as I mentioned earlier, we are going to have to play table tennis 2 times. Once for the gold medal, and then the second one unlocks the full 999-point game. And I'm only going to need 200 points. We're not going for a 999. Otherwise, I would need to pause buffer for 40 minutes. And that's not very fun. So there's 100. And at this point, we're going to see the same 100 hits again, but the game is going to get much, much faster after that. So a good time for messages and donations at this stage. Again, there is still time I can save, and there is a little cutscene skip there. As you can see, there's no waiting around for the press A to start bar to appear. The second time you play table tennis. That actually means it's optimal to start with table tennis in every full game category, but no one does because billiards exists. There is a category called All Games No Billiards where people start with table tennis because it's a category extension joke category to remove billiards from the game because of the RNG. And in that case, you'd start with table tennis, but everything else, no one does. Hey Dylan, how's it going? So I will need some quiet at around 120, 130 points. Game gives us a bit of a break after 100, and then it starts really picking up. So playing a little closer to the net, and then it's going to start getting a lot faster, a lot quicker this time. So I am going to move back already. And then a tiny break here, but it's very, very quick before it starts picking up again. Now watch for the pattern at 186 to 200 points. That is the key here. And watch where I hold the paddle. I'm going to try and hold it just to the right of the middle line. Ooh, game was a bit sneaky there. It gave me one middle hit during that pattern, but the premise of that is as long as you are on basically 186 to 200, the game will throw you the opposite side just to make it even harder. What you can do is actually make the game easier as a result. You can just hold the paddle just slightly to the right of the middle line, and it will always make it go left. Yeah, and there is also pause buffering. If I do fail that, that is a good thing to note as well. Table tennis where the ball is the table. You know what? You might be onto something. I think that's a good idea. So, we are now playing Find Me. Now, Find Me is an interesting game. Every level is has a requirement, and we need to find the Miis on my system. A lot of them are from my system. About 80% of the Miis are going to be from my system. Some of them are random, like this one. I don't recognize this one. That's not on my console. But there is a very, very new discovery. So people on Wii and Wii U, if you make the mods to do so, nice catch for Luigi there. Level 8 is really, really stingy with the randomization of the Mii positions. So that was very good. Good catch because of the hat. I will mention hat in a moment. But a very recent discovery is... now, is that Minion? I feel like I saw a yellow hat. No, it's Garfield. Never mind. Never mind, it was Garfield. So, easy mistake to make. So, the game pulls from your Mii channel. Up to 50% of the Miis will be from your Mii Plaza. That's the normal bit. But if you're on a Wii, you can play with the Mii Parade. And up to 30% of Miis will be from there. So that means you can have up to 80% of your own Miis. If you play without Mii Parade, you can only have 50%. So it's a huge advantage. And it is allowed in runs. It is very, very useful. And currently I have sort of 10 to 15 in my Mii Parade. That's sort of the optimal amount so that I can actually... That's a DK Bongos Mii, by the way. It's a very new one. This is the first run I'm doing with that Mii. As I say, it's a very, very recent discovery. See, even though this game is 20 years old this year, there's still new stuff being found. Hey Jack, how's it going? There are other strats in here though. So something you might notice is that all the Miis seem like they're the same height. They've all got the same weight as well, and their shirt colors are all like this pastel color, which is not what normally happens. Normally you have favorite colors, and that's their shirt color. But they didn't want this game to be that easy. But hats do have the same color that you set them. There's the DK Mii. As a sub 3 Find Me, it's very good. Very good for a no reset. So what we can do is we can put hats on Miis. There are 2 hat options on the Wii. You have the beanies and you have the caps. So there are 12 colors. That means you've got 24 different hats to use. You can use duplicates, but you'd end up confusing yourself a little bit. I certainly would confuse myself as a result. So yeah, this is a Pac-Man Mii. Originally started as a Mii with no hair, but a lot of the no hair face art Miis, I've put hats on them so I can see them easier. Basically, you just want your Mii Parade to be your Mii channel to be as diverse as possible. You want there to be different looking Miis, and that makes them easier to find. So the other thing I can do is something called Hitbox Strat, and that might be what you were noticing there. I was just kind of seeking around. I didn't know the answer, but what you can do is you can actually hover over Miis, and the one that will be prioritized is the correct answer. Big example there. Luigi surrounded by about 3 or 4 incorrect answers. Luigi was prioritized. That's because Luigi was the correct answer. Incorrect answers have small hitboxes, large hitboxes for correct ones. And as you can see here, yeah, stair levels are really great to demonstrate it for. So I am just going to go in a straight line until I find the answer, pretty much. And then I'm just going to look for the rest of them. It's a really, really good strat. It's one of the best strats in this game, I would say, in Wii Play in general. And it's also really beginner-friendly. It's also more useful by the end of the game. One of the best levels for the hitbox strat is level 99. Because it has just so many Miis. That is the yellow cat Mii. So, another little quirk. On the escalator levels, there can only be 1 correct answer per escalator. So I will always search the one with the least Miis first. Because, I mean, on this level, it's guaranteed to be at least one Mii in that escalator. And that one did not have many Miis, so you know it's got to be one of them. There we go. Sometimes you just get a little bit unlucky with where they spawn. So next we're going to pick a favourite. We can pick any Mii. I just have to remember that one in a little while. Here, the Miis are going to step left and right. There we go. So some step left and then one steps right instead. And I'm going to try and use hitbox strat here. Didn't quite get it. That's fine. There we go. Yeah, good thing with that level is you can just brute force it. You have a timer of 120 seconds, so it is all good. We can kind of just brute force those. I tried to use hitbox strat. It's kind of tricky to use hitbox strat on those odd me out levels. So yeah, very, very good one here. Really not many Miis here. It's a dark level. I think it's a pink hat, is it? No, it's DK. There we go. So just before you get a medal, the game will throw a lot of dark levels at you. It's deliberate, in my opinion. The game is very deliberate with that. Pink beanie there, yeah, that's throwing me off a bit. I do have a pink beanie Mii, but it does not look like that. There we go. Yeah, the escalator fact is really useful. I should add that to my Find Mii tutorial. I'm currently working on the Find Mii tutorial as well. Shooting range tutorial script is pretty much done. I've started on Find Mii now. Got to get a lot of them done. There we go. Water levels are really difficult because it obscures the face while they're swimming. Like, you just can't see the face during that. So it's really tricky. Okay, fastest Mii will also often get stuck between Miis as well. So that's one way of finding the right one. Unfortunate. Darth Vader getting in the way. Another new addition to the to my Mii channel. So many more new Miis for me to get used to. But it's easier for me to get used to Miis that look very different rather than regular looking faces. So that's why I do it. Some people do just play Find Mii without doing this. Some people have a lot of Miis on their system based on the CPU Miis from the Wii series rather than from Wii Sports and games like that. I would not be able to play Find Mii if I did that. I would be very bad. This might be Waluigi, yes. Yeah, the middle escalator throwing me off there because there were no right answers there. So another thing I should mention is on these levels that are coming up, these are really, really zoomed out. So because the camera is further, the Miis are further away at the top of the screen, the hitbox strat is even more effective at the top of the screen because the hitbox is still kind of the same in a way, but the small hitboxes of the incorrect Miis shrinks. So hitbox is really, really useful as we progress here. Now, something to mention, I am playing on the US NTSC 1.0 version of the game. It is actually suboptimal to do that in Find Mii. You save 4 seconds in load times by playing on 1.0 NTSC USA, but you also save time in shooting range, lots of time in shooting range. We're going to save upwards of 10 seconds there later as a result of a glitch using 2 controllers, which I will explain when we get there. Nice, DK Bongo's coming in clutch. Any sort of recommended ratio? Yeah, good question. There is. It was very recently found, or worked out, I guess. Once we worked out how how the Miis are good. Yeah, the back seating as well. Yeah, this game is very, very good for audience participation. Yeah, as I was going to say, though, there are more Miis on 1.0 versions of the game. So I am actually playing Find Me at a slight nerf by playing on 1.0. But the time saves in the full game run are well worth playing with those extra Miis. So what we want is we want to have at least 50% of the Miis in a level to be from the... good catch there, nice. 50% of the Miis from the Mii Plaza and 30% from the Mii Parade. That means what we do is for every category, we will take the level with the most Miis and we will multiply that amount of Miis by the percentages. So, say for instance, the level 99 speedrun, the highest amount of Miis in there is 64 on the 1.0 version of the game. So, what we do there is that a split? That is a late split. Again, I'm missing my splits. It's all good. I am not sure. There we go. I did add a cap to the clock face Mii. Clock face Mii did not used to have a cap. So, say for instance the level 99 speedrun. That has 64 Miis. That means you want at least... that is you. There we go, nice catch. You want at least 32 Miis in your Mii Plaza. And you want around 18, 19, I believe. This is off the top of my head, so I might be completely wrong. I will pull up the numbers in a second, actually. Because they are in the pins in the Wii Play channel. So I can very easily find them. It's a very recent discovery, so it will be right at the top. So you want 32 Miis in... Ooh, the hitbox is actually getting eaten up by each other there because they were both next to each other. So that is a thing that can happen with hitbox strat. They were kind of being eaten up. There we go. And then just kind of scattergunning a couple of answers there. Eventually finding Bob Ross. That was pretty good. In case I couldn't find the answer straight away, that's the reason I do that. Yeah, 32 Miis on Mii are using. There we go. 32 Miis in the Plaza and 19 in the Parade. So 51 in total. But the thing with that is that that only applies to one level. And that level has such easy hitbox strat because it's so zoomed out that you actually kind of don't want to have the optimal for that level. So you can lowball the number just a tad and it still works out just fine. Possibly Matt here. Possibly Bellsprout. Yeah, it's two lookalikes. Possibly DK Bongos, actually. There we go. Very tricky level, that one. One of the hardest in the game, I would say. And then coming up, this is level 80. Now, I'm not going to win here. Not immediately. I will explain why after. But basically, this is a quicker way of draining my timer. And you will see why when we get to the next level. There we go. So I have successfully drained my timer down as low as I can. And I now need to pick 5 Miis to drain 5 seconds. On that level, I could pick 2 at a time and lose 5 seconds for both. There is a small cooldown in this game. So I can't just keep going more and more to get enough there. To just drain all my time instantly. I have to wait for the cooldown. But by using that strat and draining on level 80, we actually save a lot of time. So next up is Laser Hockey. We need 14 Miis here. 14 Miis. My goodness, find me. We didn't find me so long. We need 14 points. And I can cheese this for the first few points. Every point, the CPU will get slightly faster. And every hit of the paddle that the rally goes on for, the ball will get slightly faster as well. But what I can do is I can use the side of the paddle and it will actually hit the ball very, very slightly faster. So that allows me to just barely squeeze past the CPU. As you can see, it is speeding up now, so I can't really cheese it anymore. I can still squeeze shots in, but not nearly as easily. So eventually I will need to charge up a combo. 14 is really tricky. 14 is also harder on 4x3. As I said earlier, we do this so we can play tanks faster because all the layouts are squished. That was a nice shot there. The paddle did not catch up with that. Nice, that's good. Yeah, so 16x9 is actually slightly easier for laser hockey because you have more space to work with. Brilliant quick shot there. But other than that, this is pretty much an auto-scroller as long as we don't concede any goals. It's very, very easy to concede goals here. I've actually only had a world record once with no conceded goals. Every other world record I've had in this category has had a conceded goal. So the CPU stalling a little bit there, just catching it off guard. There we go. And I'm going to use the back of the paddle just to stop the ball in its tracks, and we have 50 seconds here just to sit and have a bit of a breather before the next game. So again, another good time for messages and donations in a marathon. If we really wanted to, we could go for a score run here, but yeah, we will not be doing that here. I will do it in the other runs though, because the other runs are pretty easy just to reach their requirements. 14 is quite tricky, and then it gives us a bit of time to have some donations and have a bit of a breather. How long would it take for you if it were the standard Wii Sports Miis? It's tricky. I mean, I would still be able to do it. It's hard to say. There is a category called Find Mii 99 No Extra Miis, where you have no Miis in your Mii channel or Mii Parade. And that is a category on the category extensions page. I did that on emulator, so I didn't have to delete all my Miis, but I could definitely beat that. It took me like 20 minutes or something. I could definitely beat that because I had a bunch of emulator lag playing on there. So now we have Pose Me. So what we need to do here is we need to try and pop as many bubbles as we can. Now, similar to fishing, this has an invisible timer. So what I need to do is I need to pop bubbles so that it spawns more in. Yeah, the stock images. Yeah, as I've said in other runs, what's your favourite stock image in Pose Me? That's the real question we got here. We need 1,200 points for this, so I'm actually going to lose a life here. It's called Pose Meaty Strats. Basically, you need to lose your lives at some point in this game, and the most advantageous point to do that is level 2. Because you only lose 10 perfect bonus points for not going deathless, and doing both is a bit risky, so I will only go for one here. Hey Kiro, Bob. Bob is pretty good. Yeah, I don't really know why they used stock images for this game. It almost feels like a placeholder, but it's just in the final game. So, something to mention here, there are always patterns in every Pose Me level, and at this stage, with how fast the bubbles are going, they will always be at a slight left, right angle, slight left angle, slight right angle, or dead center. So this is a nice level to rack up points. As I was saying, invisible timer in Pose Me. Every level has 30 seconds to spawn in bubbles. The moment that elapses, any bubbles that are remaining, you will need to pop them and then the level ends. That means you can't end levels early per se, but you can get more bubbles because there always needs to be a bubble on the screen. So this was very close to being an auto-scroller game, but they figured out a way of avoiding that, which I'm very, very grateful for. So 1,200 points, we are going to need to play quite a lot of levels in here to reach that. And there are people that are better than Pose Me than me. So they are actually able to finish a level earlier and save upwards of 20 seconds. Very, very good. And a massive disadvantage I have over them. I'm more of an all-rounder kind of runner because I have everything going on. There are S-grade runners in specific categories in this game. I'm more of an A-grade at everything, which is what you need as a full game runner. But there are tons of specialists in this game. I would say this is probably one of the best Wii Series games for how many different specialists there are that only run one thing. Outside of Wii Sports games, like the really hard-hitting Wii Sports games like Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, this game is up there with them. Because you got Charge, there are a few really good runners of Charge. Pause buffering is actually the meta in Charge now. For ILs. And then you've got Pose Me, where there is one person who's able to get 150 points in 2 levels. You got so many games in here. And of course you've got tanks as well, which I have a decent time in. But again, there are people that are faster than me in there. But the good thing for me is that this category only has 30 missions. I'm good at 30 missions. I've played them enough times. But 100 missions, that's where the top runners come to play. Good save there. So this level, we're going to get one bubble, and then we're just going to get loads spawning in one go. Usually you're going to get a rainbow bubble on 2 different opportunities here. Rainbow bubbles do spawn in generally if you're playing a bit slowly, but they're pretty much always you're going to get one. Now, I don't really want to pop the rainbow immediately because I am not going for the early level cycle, and that means every time I pop a rainbow, it does pause the timer, and because I'm not going for that early cycle, I want the rainbow to last as little time as possible. So this is the upside down level, because of course it is. Pretty similar pattern to one of the earlier ones though. But as I was saying, the game will, if you play really close to the lines at the bottom, which is where you lose a life, if a bubble drops below there, then the game will give you extra rainbows, which we don't really want. Yeah, Resort is just... Resort, I would say, does trump this game for specialists. I don't think I can argue this game as having more specialists than that. Maybe it's second best, though. Wii Sports only really has golf. Like, there are people that are experts at specific, like, pro class or beat the champion runs, but I don't know. I do think this game could be on par with Wii Sports, if I'm honest, in terms of how many specialists there are of different games, or how many different games there can be with specialists of them. But Resort wins. Resort absolutely wins. So these angles are really tricky. This is probably the hardest level we'll see in the Platinum Run. There are 16 levels. Some of them are really tricky by the end. Like, you're pretty much guaranteed to get rainbow bubbles. Good save there. Nice. Oops, there we go. So this one, much like level 8, but way quicker in terms of how fast the bubbles are going. Alright, and here I am going to need a decent amount of points. I'm going to get 65 perfect bonus, and I need 111. So I do need a decent amount. If I don't get enough, then I can get some backups in the next level, though. The main thing is just not losing a life here, otherwise that is going to cost me a little bit of time. And more importantly, it means I'll have to play the next level intended way, which is pretty tricky. Nice, and we're 1 away. That is absolutely fine. The way this level works out, that is more than enough. There we go. There's our 1, and we're still waiting for the same bubbles to drop to the bottom. And this is why we wanted to drop a bubble in level 2, because we, as you can see, the bubbles are really slow here. You do not want to wait for these. So 1201. That is the end of that game, and I'm going to connect my second controller because we are going to come to our final game, Shooting Range. Now this game is going to require us to get 600 points. And I am going to use a glitch that I talked about earlier called NTSC USA 1.0. And what that does is it allows me to hit these purple targets for +3 points rather than -3 using the second controller. So watch this. If I play well enough here, I will be able to skip everything else and play the fast cycles in all the other shooting range levels. That is more than enough. That was really, really good. And now what we can do is we are just going to play... we're still going to play for points here. I'm going to try and build up a combo. Combo points do really, really help you here. Once you reach the end of your combo, you get your combo -4. So it essentially just massively increases the points you get. But the big thing in shooting range is that level 2, waves 1 and 3 of the targets are variable amounts of points. Everything else, you have the same number of targets every time. But there, it is, it can be different. So here, I'm going to try and mash. Hopefully, we're going to get these cans because they actually give you 6 frames of time save. This one saves 0.6 seconds. Didn't quite get that one. That is fine, though. But this is pretty much a textbook perfect shooting range because of how we played level 2. We can hit these 2 slow UFOs, and that is the optimal level 3, 4, and 5. We get our 610 points. 600 for platinum. Time is coming up when the medal banner appears. And we're coming up on time. That is time. 1:05:43, I believe. So, pretty good. And yeah, a legitimate gold as well because of just how good that shooting range was. If I ever want to come back to platinum medals, that's a pretty good run. Yeah, so that is Wii Play. We got pretty unlucky in billiards. I would say below average luck in billiards there, but still very solid run. 1:05:43 I would be very happy with for any marathon. My best on a marathon is a 1:02, and that was pretty much a first try billiards exit. So this run, one of the more... In fact, I would say if you discount billiards, this is probably one of my most, if not the most, well-executed Platts run that I've ever done. So, yeah, pretty good. I think Find Me really helped. Find Me was really, really solid. I will actually need to check Find Me because it was pretty good. 14:22. There is a chance. There are ILs in this game for medals. and that did seem pretty decent. 1422. It's not quite an ILPB, but it's not too far off. Yes, that is true. Yeah, so I started with billiards and I did do a bunch of resets. So had that not have been the case, I took 6 minutes and 2 seconds in billiards. So probably around a 100 or a 101 is what I would expect there. If I took a long time in billiards, it's a low 101. If it's my average billiards exit, then it's like a high 100. So yeah, very, very good run. Yeah, that is all. Thank you for watching. More runs soon. But we're going to carry on Twitch. We're going to do some Tanks 1P2C, I think, to end the stream. Okay, I don't think I'm going to use that as a submission. It wasn't great because of billiards, but it is a no reset, and it is miles better than the one on Saturday. The one on Saturday was awful. I got gold medal on Saturday and didn't realise, so that was just really bad. And then it took me another 5 minutes to get what I needed. So platinum 105.42. Let's just chuck in 105.42. Hey Rayson, thank you for the luck. Good luck with the Metroid Prime 4 practice. Hope that's going well for you. Yeah, thanks for the GG, Vince and Crazyo. Okay, so my average now is unfortunately a 108.14. So I am gonna have to think about increasing my estimate. I think it's a shame, but I think I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I'm gonna see how the next runs go, but if my average is not good enough, then I might just. Unless I stick with the 105 comparison, and I can just crank out like a sub 105 at some point, then I'll keep it at 105. If I can get like a 103, I'd be comfortable with a 105. Yeah, Tanks was. Yeah, I had to play really safe in Tanks. Being on 1 life killed me, honestly. Yeah, Tanks. I think Tanks could do with having a little bit more time there for the later missions, but then again, I had to play safe because I was on 1 life for a lot of it. Like, I don't think it would normally be that safe. I lost like 30 seconds on 1 mission, I'm pretty sure. Isn't that the case in mission 19? Yeah, lost 27 seconds in 17. Lost 40 in 19. Yeah, I think Tanks is fine as the estimate itself. It's just that I played so safely because I had to. Ideally, I would just not die that much, but that's difficult when you're focusing on commentary so much. I do need to. I don't know what I want to do about subsplits. Subsplits are really difficult. Makes the estimate bad because you have to factor in the chance of losing all your lives. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, well, subsplits are the main. I'm guessing you mean the thing where at the end you are losing all your lives at the end. I think what I'm going to do is. I meant to do it before this stream. I was going to remove the balanced splits for the sub-splits. I was just going to have 1 for the whole split. So 1 for billiards, 1 for fishing, 1 for Tanks Gold, 1 for Tanks Platinum. Yeah, I know what you mean. The sub-splits are... they do make it inaccurate. Oh, failing Gold or Platinum. Well, yeah, I mean, if I fail Gold or Platinum, that's a disaster. But I would severely hope I wouldn't do that. Like... I don't know. I think maybe I should increase the estimate, yeah. Like, if I did fail there, then that would be awful. I think there's a very low chance that happens, though. Like, it's the first 20 missions are my bread and butter at this point. Like, I do the same thing every time. As long as I actually focus, then I'll be good. And when it's an actual marathon run, I have other people doing the commentary. So I can lock in on the game. And it's a lot better. Maybe it just means I'll go for less FPDs. Or none at all in a marathon run. I don't know. I'll just do a lot of tanks practice, I think. It's not where I'm going to end this. Okay, I don't have enough time for a Tanks 100, so I'm going to have to do Tanks 1P2C co-op. Just 1 or 2 runs to finish this off. Because I don't have time. Maybe tomorrow if Cannonless goes south. But, I don't know. We play category. Oh no, it's not category extensions, is it? We play. No, it's a normal category. Tanks co-op 20. Here it is. I don't have a comparison for this though. That's a problem. Okay, I will make one. I will make one right now. Let's have 13 seconds here. Let's do. You know what? I'm actually just going to have splits for 5, 10, 15, and 20 for the comparison. I think that makes sense. So let's do 140 for 5. Let's do 330 for 10. And then it starts to get really difficult. I'll have 6 minutes 20 here, and then 9 minutes 59. There we go. That'll do. Okay, let's give it a shot. So I'm going to pick up my elastic bands, and we'll give this a try. So this is only a bonus run. This is like an incentive I'm going to submit. By the way, since I've started running this category, I've used the same rubber bands for this. I don't know how they've lasted this long. Like, they've just sat in my drawer the whole time, and I just get them out when I do Tanks co-op. So, rubber bands on the controller. There is something in my mind, by the way, making me think I want to submit double bronze, but I don't know. I just think double bronze is a really difficult category for casual viewers to follow. Like, it's not the most intuitive thing, because you just have to believe that I'm telling you the right scores. So I think a medal category would be better. Like, double bronze is a cool category for smaller marathons. Smaller marathons love it. Smaller marathons have accepted double bronze 100% of the time I've submitted it, which is really funny. Actually, no. There was one that I submitted it to, and they accepted Sonic and the Secret Rings, which is more cursed. But yeah, double bronze for GDQ. GDQ gets more people that are going to be casual viewers because they're just on the virtue they're a bigger marathon. So, I don't know. It just means I have to tell people, like, trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. I'm telling you the right scores. I'm telling you that's what I need to do here. Okay. Also, the fact that charge is god-awful, and I don't want to have to deal with that on a marathon. Small marathons, it's okay. Not GDQ. Okay. Let's do a run. Very quick one. I don't really need to get a good time in for this. I've got marathon runs of me doing this already that are sub 10. I just need to be able to crank out no resets of this and be reliably winning, because it's an instant game over here if you lose. So it's obviously very risky. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, this is Wii Play Tanks Co-op 20. This is a bonus run to accommodate my other submissions. The goal here is we are playing with 2 controllers. I've got them stuck together with rubber bands so I can move them freely. And we are going to try and beat all 20 missions of tanks. Now, you might notice something. If any of my other runs have got in, then there would already have been tanks in the run. You might notice some of the spawn positions are slightly different to normal. That is because there are now 2 players in the game. And the main thing here is that the game only goes to 20 missions. And also, if both tanks die, it's an instant game over. So I do need to be very, very careful here that that is not the case. I'm aiming for about a 90% success rate in this. It's a very, very tricky one. Sometimes the tanks will just screw you over, but that is very rare for it to be completely unrecoverable in a 1P2C run. There's always going to be some chance for you to save it. So I am having to play with the two controllers sort of between me there. It's very tricky to keep up with this. You get 5 bullets with each tank, so this does have the potential to be significantly faster than regular one-player runs. One-player world record is 6:22. World record in here is significantly faster than that. The reason being, obviously, 2 tanks to work at these. The fact that tanks will sometimes just target the wrong one. Look at that. Teal just going for the completely wrong tank. Just because it randomly picks one. As long as both of them are alive, it will just randomly pick one. And a lot of the time, it will be the wrong one. So this is one of the fortunate missions where I can actually, rather than use both players to go fast, I'm going to use one as a bit of a backup life. As I said, no lives here. So the moment I die with both tanks, it is over. So having a backup, as you can see, is very useful. But theoretically, you do get 20 lives in this run, because you could just die once on every mission, in theory. But obviously it doesn't normally work out that way. So as we've already seen, brown tanks do not move, grey tanks are defensive, they fire infrequently. Teal tanks fire rocket bullets, yellow tanks have mines, and pink tanks, as you can see, they fire a little bit quicker. But because they are moved to the middle and we're on the sides, we can actually just use the rubber-banded controllers to game that a little bit and make it so they just get hit there very quickly. So I'm actually going to use that that red tank to hit that grey. Hopefully that hits. Teals are very good at dodging, but it looks like we got that one there. So no one really runs tanks co-op. It is mainly me in terms of 1P2C runs. And that's mainly because you can't make this into another run. Like, a lot of other runs in this game, you can extend them, so such as Tanks 20, in a regular Tanks run, you could just continue to play. And that would just be a regular Tanks run at that point. Or a regular medal run at that point, potentially. But here, Tanks Co-op is just Tanks Co-op. Once you're finished with this run, you can't get a medal here. You can't get medals in the co-op games. Very tricky one here. Pink tank right at the beginning. And luckily, the green tank getting pushed in there. So an early detonate there. That's usually a mines only strat. But I did decide to pull that out there just because it's a bit more convenient. Basically, what I just did is I detonated the mine early. The green was in range to get hit to it, but it wasn't in range to automatically set it off. Same thing is going to happen here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just wait for that pink. I'm then going to set it off. There we go. But because of where that mine was, it wasn't really in a position where I could just do that. So here, this is a bit of a tricky one. It is very possible for me to get these 2 tanks. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to have to play a little bit carefully here. Because again, we're on 1 life. Thank you for the good luck, drywall. There we go, nice rebound. That was being really mean there, and that is why we've got this estimate here. Yes, it is a one-shot kill, but ultimately some of these missions just are really tricky because of the spawns. Mission 16, one of the hardest ones in Tanks Co-op as well, because you are starting off, 1P2C specifically, because you are starting off with 2 tanks in a one-on-one brawl. You are forced to play either one of them and then sacrifice the other, or play both and hope it works out. Thankfully, I managed to defend. And that is going to help us out here, because once again, down to 1 life, but I do have that life. That's the important thing. And another one-on-one brawl. Nice. So we unfortunately did not live with that second one. This is going to be very tricky now. Okay, there we go. Nice. Ah! How did that not defend? That is really annoying. Alright, I think I'm going to write in where I DNF. DNF 17. That was really good commentary as well. Alright, I'm not going to go for commentary on the last one. I'm just going to practice. I've already got runs of this. I just need to... I need to get better at the run, I think. I'm going to do one more, though. I've got time. I just don't have time for Tanks 100. Tanks 100 was a bit ambitious. I would have needed to start early to do Plats and Tanks 100. But I am going to do Tanks 100 on Saturday. I'm going to do a big stream on Saturday. We're going to do loads of runs. I was tempted to do all the categories that I'm submitting, including Wii Play Motion. But I feel like Wii Play Motion would be a bit silly, because I'm not planning on doing that until I learn 2P strats properly. Otherwise, there's no way I meet those estimates. I do need to do Wii Play Motion. I love Wii Play Motion. If Wii Play Motion gets in, I would be shocked. But, you know, I'm submitting it anyway. I think 2P strats are sick. And it does add a lot to the run. It adds a lot more interesting stuff to the run, that's for sure. Okay. Go. I will be submitting Wii Play Motion Silvers and Wii Play Motion Golds. I think Plat is too much and Bronze is too little. Plat, there's really not a huge difference. It's just the fact that there are 12 games in Wii Play Motion, so it adds a lot in terms of the estimate. Like, the run itself, I think Plat's is a way better showcase, and I've run it on smaller events before. And it's been a great time. But yeah, I can't rely on Plat's getting in. I think realistically Golds is better. Golds is a very similar run in that game as well anyway. Golds is like Plat's light at that point. Like, you're doing 28 teeter targets missions instead of 30. It's basically the same. That was a 58. Hang on a minute. What's my PB? That was really good. Okay, I just kind of used the wrong one. My bad. So, you get this thing where the tanks just don't fire sometimes. Nice. By the way, I do have an absolute flaw for me to submit this category. If I don't have a 75% success rate or higher, I will not be submitting this category. I have to set a limit somewhere. If I can't beat 20 missions at least 75% of the time, I will not be submitting this. It would be completely unwise. That's why I'm tracking my stats for the month. I will count a clear as long as I get, like, sub 12. Like, I'm not gonna discount it if I don't get that. Like, if I barely go over estimate, I'm not exactly gonna disqualify it as an attempt. See, this is what I need to get good at. Using the other tank as a backup rather than just sitting it there as an extra one. I'm not going for PBs in this. It's very tricky for me to stop myself. That's my primal urge to go for a PB here. Oh! Cool. Was never worried. Not at all. Not at all. What was I going to check? Tanks co-op. Oh, hello. I've put a mine on the wrong one. That was silly. Let me just get rid of that. It's because I got my controllers swapped. I don't know why I actually did that to myself. That's just really confusing me. World's worst bullet spray there. It's fine. It works. It's all good. That means it was the best. Yeah, 5:18 world record here. I couldn't remember it off the top of my head in that run. I was just commentating. But 5:18 tanks 20 co-op world record. That is a minute 4 over solo world record. It's a really, really good time. My run is a 6:40. Like, I've almost beat the 2p, the 1p world record, the solo world record, in co-op by myself. Which is unreal. Like, oh, come on, where's that come from? Oh my god, I'm tanking. I'm tanking. Tanking my average. 0 for 2. DNF on 11. My god. Wii tanks against someone else is so much fun. Imagine Wii play as an online mod. Okay, but what if I got into GDQ and we do Wii series? We do Wii series co-op, but we actually just like play against each other. That will be pretty funny, I think. And then we also do some co-op runs to just get everyone on the board. I think that's my goal. I'm just gonna get as many people as I can on the board. I'm gonna be the Pingunito of 2026. Anyone else saying that? Has anyone else seen the tanks co-op leaderboard? Pingunito, my goat. There was like a solid month where the only person that would ever submit was where is it? Chrome, there it is. The only person who would ever submit was one person, Pingunito. Yeah, Pingunito has 120 mission run. But then you go on the 10 board and they're just all over it. There's loads of them. They just play with loads of people. Like, at this point, I thought they were just making people up. They were just putting in random names and playing with the same person, but I don't know. Maybe they just have that many friends. And then there's one run on the 5 missions. But yeah, 10 missions. That was my goat. For like a month, I just hopped on SRC and just had to verify another tanks co-op 10 run. Hey Merle, how's it going? How long does it take to get plat in billiards? I am setting myself an estimate of 4 minutes, but realistically I need about 6 on average. I think I'm just going to sit down one day and just do a billiards platinum times 10 practice run. At this point, like, I need to just do tanks platinum practice to force myself to practice backup strats. There's no category in this game that entices you to do that. And I think adding billiards platinum times 6 would be really silly for a category extension, but I'll just do it on my own back. I think it will still be useful. How do you do it 1P2C? This. Rubber bands. Specifically rubber bands, not Velcro. People that run other games like Mario Galaxy use Velcro because they don't need to move the pointers from each other. Here, I can do this, so it allows me to do free movement, which is fast. I would love to see plats in SGDQ, but I'm worried about billiards RNG. I have run, I can tell you how many runs I've done of billiards on marathons, because I have a sheet that has that on. So, I have done a lot of Wii Play runs. I have run Wii Play Plats on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marathons. Only 5? I ran golds on 2. I ran motion plats on 1. And then technically, I guess there was also a... yeah, there was a Wii Play Series Platinum Medals run, which was world record, actually. That was kind of funny. So I've run it on 6. Yeah, thanks for the good luck on the marathon submissions, by the way. So I got the following times. So the first one was in October 2023. I got a 118. And then I got a 114 2 months later. I then got a 102 3 months later. And then a 103 5 months later. And another 103 3 months later. So that is why I've set it to 105. My last 3 marathon runs have all been sub 104. I can do it. It's just that I'm so unfamiliar with the strats again for some reason of going for platinum. Like just playing a safe platinum game. Like that's all I need. I don't need to care about getting like sub-minute billiards. I need to care about getting out of billiards within 5 minutes. Like, if billiards RNG goes really bad, it could take me like 10 minutes. But the good thing is now we have double jump shots. So let me just chill. We're gonna do like a little bit of billiards for the end of the stream. Let me show you double jump shots because I didn't get to show you today. I got a couple in the last stream. So double jump shots, huge jump in the meta. So here's how it works. I play billiards as normal, but I am going to look for jump shots that I can go for. So that's only 1 break. I would reset that. I'm not playing 1 break. I'll play 2 breaks for platinum if they look decent enough. Like this, potentially good because the 3 ball is close to the pocket. Like I could do this and maybe the 5 ball goes in. Not quite. That's nowhere near what I expected. 3 ball didn't get hit. That's the reason why. Oh, that's a real shame. That almost worked. Oh my god, I almost hit the Murasaki strats. Mura does that kind of thing. Unfortunately, I got a foul from that. I was shocked that worked because that took me ages to record a clip of that for the billiards tutorial. It took me like 2 or 3 minutes to get 1 clip. I just kept on fouling over and over. So yeah, so like a 2 break I would try and take. But a double jump shot would save a 2 break. Or not save, but like it would keep it on par. See, there you go, there's a double. So a jump shot is where you jump a ball off the table. A double jump shot is where you jump at least 1 ball off the table, but you got at least 2 in total. So you could get 1 in the pocket and 1 off the table, for instance. Like, that's fine. Does that work? Almost. Wow. Almost. Okay, so here is really awkward. I can't go for the corner pocket, otherwise the cue ball's going in. Or it's going in anyway. Okay, now I really just need to wing it. I'm going to try and hit the 6 into the 9. This is the only thing I can do. Hit the 6 into the 9. The 9 goes in. And the 6 hopefully goes in. Yeah, it didn't happen. But that's the sort of thing I need to get better at. I also need to learn when to just reset. I think part of my problem now is knowing that I can win 2 breaks sometimes. I will continue 2 breaks in a bid to try and win them. When in reality, some of them are just not really that good. If there was a consistent 3 break setup, I would be very happy with that. That would help me a lot. Nope, that's the cue ball going in. Cue ball going in again, come on. 2 break with the cue ball is just the same as a 1 in terms of the platinum medal. Really? That was a 0 or maybe a 1? Okay, that's really weak. Because of all the backspin there. Backspin was a bit too strong. This is a 2. Yeah. I might go for a backspin here. Because it will hit the 4 ball into the pocket. Nice! Got lucky with the 1 ball. I had no idea where the 1 ball was going, but it worked out. I don't think this works, because the cue ball might go in. Okay, no. That's good. Good spin to stop it from going in. See, this would be a great save if this were to work. Spin control is going to mean that's in a good spot. Wow, how'd I miss that? Oh my god. This is not good now. I just have to whack this and hope it hits something. Yeah. Probably not happening. So yeah, this is good. 3 break. There we go. So, that's really annoying because the 2 and the 3 are in such good spots. But I can't really do a lot with it. Yeah, oh, that was really silly. I shouldn't have done topspin. I should have just cashed in my win. Cash in the free ball going in. Nothing else. I can't do anything with that. That was just really silly. That's a 4, wow. Possible double here? Probably too close for it to work. Oh, what a shame. No foul, though, because the cue ball stayed on the table, which is really funny. Okay, I think this angle actually allows me to hit into the 9. Oh, not quite. Okay. No, that's really unfortunate. Wow, this just went terribly. It's almost like I have too many strats now and the game hates me. The game wants to prey on my downfall now. I mean, I will admit that miss was not good on the 5 ball. That was very poor. If I do... Oh, okay, right. Here's a question for the chat. If I do a run on Saturday, before I do the actual runs, of Billiards Platinum times 10, a run where I go for 10 Billiards Platinums, would you be happy with watching that? Because I might need to do it. I might need to for the practice. Genuinely. I feel like people enjoy watching billiards, so maybe people would like to watch that. Don't! Okay, yeah, I had to be very careful there, because I knew that was going to be on the trajectory of going in off of that. Okay, that's scary. And then I should practice bank shots a bit more as well. Bank shots I just never go for anymore, because they're not worth doing in runs. Oh, that was shot 8. What happened? How's that shot 8? Did I take a 2 break or something? I might start Saturday with the Billiards Platinum times 10 then. Just to see if I can get anything. No worries, King of the. Finished Mario Party 8 in 1:42:40 on PAL. That's pretty good. That's probably on par with my run. I don't remember what I got. It was a couple of minutes off PB. But being on PAL, you would have taken a lot longer. I would have been playing at... Or you would have been playing at 83% speed compared to me. Because of PAL. So... That's pretty good. Ooh, this looks nice. How is it only a 2? Everything got bounced away. Two again. Oh my goodness. Wow, how am I getting this unlucky? Okay, maybe this works. Yes, good. Oh my god, how hard do I have to work? Look at that. How do I, like, really? I need to get that? That spin for it to work? Really? Alright, good. Good. Yeah, thanks for the good luck. I am going to be heading off soon. Right, stop shot there. And then I'm going to try and get round the other side for the 9 ball. How is that not gone in? How has that not gone in? Okay, a couple more runs. Seven's definitely going in there. Never mind, it's just slowed down completely. Another 2. Okay, spin should make this go into the 8. Brilliant. 3 in 1 shot. Wow. That's so lucky. Okay, so now I am 1 ahead rather than 1 behind. So I'll go for that. Good. I'll go for a bit of... Oh, that was weak, so it did not give me a stop shot there. That feels too deep, actually. No, I was right the first time. I doubted myself. Okay. Right, the only thing I can do is... Yeah. How am I this bad at getting a consistent platinum now? I used to be all over this. I only want 1 before I end the stream. I should just stop taking 2s. That probably isn't going to work. Just go again. This is a 3. Another not great setup 3. Yep. If I'm near the end of a run and it's +1 on par for platinum, then yeah, I'll just wing it and hope it works. But if I'm right at the start, I might as well restart. I'm blocked on the 3 ball. Yeah, good. 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 Okay, and then here... Yeah, this is going to be a bit tricky. I have to go for the corner, I think. And then I'm going to have to go for... this. Oh, wow. Okay. And then suddenly I just made it free. Billiards just... What a game. What an incredible game. Absolutely incredible game. Just made it absolutely free instead. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna head off. That's all I wanted. You got like 10 more minutes of stream because I couldn't get platinum to save my life. Right. I'm gonna go. I would say I'm gonna practice plat off stream, but I honestly don't really have time. So, unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to get good. Okay. Thanks for watching though. Next stream will be tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing a stream. Because I'm going to start doing 3 streams this month instead of 2 per week when I can. And that will be canonless. New Super Mario Bros. Wii canonless. So that means I won't just be doing Wii Play for the whole month. So that will be nice. But on Saturday we'll be back with the Wii Play because I need to get more runs going. I'm probably going to do a Platts run. I don't know what I included in my... ping earlier, but yeah, Platts, Tanks 100, maybe more, don't know yet. There definitely will be Platts, there definitely will be Tanks 100. I really do want to get Tanks 100 locked down so I can move on to Tanks Pro 100 because they are very, very different runs. Like they require very different gameplay from me. So I need to really lock in on one or the other at the same time. But yeah, that is going to be it. Thank you for watching. Let's have a look. Not scoring 5 balls on the break. Hello, Robo. How's it going? I know, I imagine. Could not be me. Okay, we're going to find... who's live? Is there anyone else doing this game? I never normally check the Wii Play directory. There will be lots more Wii Play soon. Lots more Wii Play this month. We are not stopping here. Do you run billiards last? I do not. I don't know anyone else who does. Billiards last is not a good idea. As far as I'm aware, no one does billiards last. Billiards last is difficult because it's RNG. Okay, I'm gonna raid Crazy Tone Dog. He's doing Peggle. Everyone loves Peggle. So I'm gonna head over there. Next stream will be tomorrow, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and then Saturday Wii Play. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.